Game-changing balance changes just came to merge tactics, so let's talk about every single one of them. Starting off, the witch is actually getting a rework, so her spawn rate is getting nerfed, so now she spawns 1, 2, 3, 6 skeletons instead of 1, 2, 4, and 8 skeletons. And it now takes her 6 seconds to charge her ability, and her skeletons are getting nerfed with their HP and their damage by 60%. This is a huge nerf, so her skeletons are actually being basically nerfed to the ground, her ability is kind of being nerfed to the ground. But in return, her damage is getting increased by 20% and her HP is getting increased by 15%. In my opinion, although her HP and her damage are getting buffed, this is just a huge nerf to her ability. Her skeletons are going to do way less. She's going to spawn fewer skeletons and it takes her longer to spawn the skeletons. So overall, I think this is a massive nerf. But I do believe it was very justified because, I mean, you've seen the clips, you've seen the gameplay yourself. The witch just spawns way too many skeletons, especially when she gets a superstar ability, so this was 100% deserved. Next up, the Musketeer's ability is also getting nerfed, so basically, she's going from being able to hit 3 targets at once at every single star level to now hitting 1 target, 2 targets, 3 targets, and 4 targets at each star level. Her knockback is also getting reduced from 4 tiles to 2 tiles, that is huge. She also requires 1 extra hit to actually activate her ability, but hey, her damage gets up by 50%. That's going to fix everything. But real talk though, the Musketeer is getting a huge nerf. I mean, I don't think she's going to be dead, but she's not going to be able to carry in clutch situations as she did in the past. I would say you pretty much need a 3-star Musketeer to actually get a lot of value from her now, so which is kind of bad. On a similar note, the Superstar ability is actually getting nerfed. So now from being able to potentially have unlimited amount of recasts, now you can only do 4 max. So I think that's pretty good, but like I don't think it's going to be a huge nerf because even if you get 4 recasts, that can literally decide the match. For example, if you have a 3-star witch and it recasts 4 times in a row, you're still going to spawn 12 skeletons, which is more than enough. So while I do think this might make a slight difference if you get, especially if you get really lucky and you end up getting like 6 recasts, now you can't do that anymore. I do feel like the superstars is still going to be pretty much 90% as strong as it was. The final change is that the Tesla building is actually getting a buff in my opinion, technically a rework, but basically its range is increasing from 1 tile, so instead of having to place it in the front row as you did in the past, it's getting buffed to 2 tiles, so now you could actually place it in the second row and still have it in range of the other troops. But in return, its HP is getting nerfed by 25%, but I don't think that matters because in the past, you'd have to place it in the front row, so basically the Tesla would just die immediately, but now if you place it in the second lane, you'd have your other front laners protecting it, so the HP is not as important. I think this is a huge change because I think the Tesla was actually pretty bad in the past, but now the Tesla I see is pretty good. And I also do want to test this in this video, but I did test this in a game earlier and the Tesla got so much more value. Alright, so we do get an Expo and a Goblin, so let's go for the Goblin and maybe we get a second one. We do get a merge though. Let's place our units like this. We do get a Goblin next, and the King actually sacks. So this is actually really good for us because we get to hold on some HP as an Empress player. You know, I probably should have placed my Expo a bit further up. I guess I'm used to playing the Master Builder. Anyways, though, we do get a double Goblin, and the Tesla, as you can see, is going to be a lot stronger. We have the Expo right now, but I feel like the Tesla is going to be so much stronger and maybe even competing. I feel like the Expo is probably the best building, but now I feel like the Tesla can possibly compete with that because the Tesla is going to get a lot more value. The Expo is obviously really inconsistent. But anyways, let's try to go for our superstar comp. We get a 3-star arch or a 3-star goblin, which is super good. Let's see if we get any more merges here. Okay, nice. We get a goblin. So we're actually kind of continuing this chain pretty well. I will say we're broke, so we're kind of nearing the end pretty easily. We do get barbs, and we get an archer. So let's upgrade the archer here. Let's go for that monk as well, and let's just put these 2 guys in. So I do feel like in this case, the musketeer will not be as valuable, especially now that she needs an extra shot. The hit requirement she needs is 4 now instead of 3. And of course, she's going to hit 2 targets. I feel like at 2 targets, the Musketeer is still going to be pretty good. But, I mean, it's not going to be like 3. 3 was super good. I feel like you don't really need more damage when you use the Musketeer. You really just want that that stun. I feel like the stun is really what you need. So, I do think it's going to take a considerable hit here. But I do still think the Musketeer will be pretty decent. So, let's go for that Witch here. And hopefully, we can get our cards back. The Musketeer that we need. And the E-Giant as well. We actually did have an E-Giant there, but let's upgrade him. And hopefully we get a Musketeer back, if possible. We don't, so for now, let's just do this. And we also get a Valkyrie, so that's pretty good. We're going to have the double Brutalist trait. So hopefully we actually survive this round. We are up against a Valkyrie as well. I kind of want to check my opponents. Nobody has the Superstars, which is super good, but we are going to take some damage here. You could actually notice the Witch here. Hopefully we do see a difference here. The Witch obviously has less spawns, but she's going to have more damage. And the Expo is going off now. The Expo is just so good. Alright, let's go for that Electro Giant and that Musketeer here. Roll Giant's also pretty good. I kind of do want to have that as well as like a late trait, so let's do that. Let's actually merge and sell that. We are not getting the Royal Giant or the other guy yet. Okay, we actually just 3-starred the Witch. That is so good, but I'm just not getting the Musketeer. Maybe somebody else has it. That guy's a 2-star. I only see that guy having the Musketeer. So maybe it's just there, or maybe the other people have it in their bench. It's really hard to tell, but the Witch, as you can see, is not getting as much value, but the Expo is just... The Expo is the MVP of the match, even at a 1-star. The Expo is insane. All right, let's go for the Skeleton Dragons here. And we actually get a 3-star Monk. That's super good. We also got a Musketeer, but I think I'd rather get the 3-star Monk for now. Okay, so still no Musketeer, unfortunately, after that one, but I do still think getting the Monk was probably the right choice there, so... That's good for us. The Monk ability is going off as well. The Monk actually did not get a nerf either, so he's actually super good. That guy single-handedly took out this guy, and we are going to defeat this dude. Also, the player that had the Musketeer just got eliminated, so that should be good for us. Hopefully, we get a Musketeer here soon. Okay, so we just got a Musketeer. I'm just going to take it. Like, knowing our luck, we're not going to get that again, so... let's do that. Let's actually try to go for this Spear Goblin upgrade. Keep it going. Okay, now I'm getting the Musketeers. Wow. Either way, though, we are up against a 3-star Queen and a 3-star Dark Goblin and a 3-star Wizard. So this should be a pretty big match. Our Witch is still going insane. 3 recasts. Can we get 4? No, not 4. I guess you do see a difference. The Witch is spawning less skeletons, so they are a bit easier to take care of here. Our Witch actually just lost that match. All right, maybe let's go for the Princess variant here. I do think we maybe need a little bit more firepower. Unfortunately, we were just not getting any merges, though, of course. Alright, so unfortunately, we did not get anything else there, but he did 3-stars Executioner. We did not get anything from our... We were not getting any merges, so unfortunately, I think we did lose here, but... Yeah, I mean, you definitely do notice a difference with the Witch. I also did want to test out one game with the Battle Machine here to see if we can actually get that Tesla, so we do get an Expo to start off. Maybe we can get a Tesla, though, down the line here, so we are going to start off with a Prince and an RG. I do just want to put the Prince in. I know we don't get the Ranger trade if we would have put in the Skeleton Dragons. However, I do think the Prince is just such a good early game unit, and we are going to take the first round. So let's actually just go for the E-Giant here just to complete that RG trait. But now I'll go for the Rangers trait, and we are up against a double Pekka. So in the next round, we are going to get a building. So hopefully we get a Tesla. If not, hopefully we get it in round 5. But I do want to test out the Tesla to see if it actually makes an impact now, because I do think that if the Tesla gets a buff, then the Battle Machine will also get a pretty significant one too. So let's actually go for the Dart. We get a Mortar, unfortunately. Not what we want, man. Not what we want. We do have some decent buildings, so hopefully we actually survive. And the Mortar actually lands. I feel like the biggest problem with me is that the Mortar actually misses like half the time, which is... It's pretty annoying. I feel like they should maybe... I don't know. I feel like, I guess it's kind of balanced because it does do a lot of damage here. But let's actually go for this Dark Goggins here. And hopefully in round 5, we actually get a Mortar or an Expo. Alright, so we do have the double Goblins, and we also have the double Brutalist, and we have 10 HP, so we're in a really good spot here. Our Wizard's getting so much splash damage, even at a 1-star. The Dark Goblin is stuck there in the corner. That's always so funny to see. And we do end off this guy. Moment of truth, round 5. Do we get an Expo? We get a Tesla! Nice, we get a Tesla. That's so huge. Okay, we can test it out now. We're going to put him in the second lane here, because now you could actually put him in the second lane here and actually get value. Okay, so let's see how much value you get. I'm super curious. Oh my... Wait, it's getting so much value. Okay, but our whole team died. But did you just see the amount of value we got there? That is insane. Let's try to go for maybe a better comp here. Oh, ooh, actually, that's really good. I gotta go for the Goblin Machine. I can't deny that. Let's go for the P.E.K.K.A here, and I might want to try to go for like a full Brutus. We get a Barb as well. That's actually so good. I might try to go 4 Brutalists here. Okay, so we actually did go 4 Brutalists. Let's see how much value this Tesla gets. Dude, the Tesla gets so much value. You can notice a difference. I feel like the biggest problem with the past is that the Tesla just got... Yeah, like it got a lot of damage, but it only lasted for like 3 seconds, and then it just died. But now the Tesla actually gets a pretty large amount of value here. But do I think this buffs the Battle Machine a lot? Not really, because I do think the buildings are obviously still a lot of RNG. Like, I think if you get the Tesla or the Expo, you're in a decent spot. But if you get the other buildings, maybe not so much. But those are the balance changes so far. Let me know in the comments what you think. Overall, I am a bit mixed. I think they're largely good. But maybe the Superstar nerf could have been tackled a bit differently. But other than that, until the next video, guys.